Okay, so today we're going to take a look at Earthspark Deluxe Megatron. Now, there's some debate as to whether the Deluxe or the Warrior is better. I don't have the Warrior. I chose this one instead of the Warrior. I had the choice between the two and I went, I'll go for this one. Did I make the right choice? Until I get the Warrior, I wouldn't know. But all we can do is work with what we've got. And this is... It's not bad, is it? Let's be honest. It's a bit basic. It's a bit weird. There's some strange design choices and stuff. But it's quite cool. It's a big, sort of VTOL kind of thing, even though you couldn't actually rotate these because these bits are sticking too long and it'd end up about a mile off the ground. But, it's a cool plane. Big cockpit on the top, big chunky front, so it can take a few hits. It looks like something out of Battletech, you know what I mean? Like something that's designed to take a load of hits while dropping off like a mech or something. It's got some little missiles here, which can't fire because they fire into the back of the arms. But it's alright, it's got some molded in landing gear here and some lumps here. I mean, I imagine Voyager or a leader class of this figure would, just get those fine details right. But, excuse me, I like it. And yes, I have got both propellers. They were in, the other one was in the box. That scared me. I've done a couple of little tweaks to it. Nothing major, just a couple of tiny little tweaks. And I'll get to them as we go. Primarily, you might notice this. But, I like it. Size comparison, Legacy Wild Rider. So it's about a normal Deluxe. So, transformation. First thing we do, and this is where my first little tweak comes in, we're going to take these off. They've got hole, peg, peg, hole. Take that off, take this one off. Now, the first thing I did was, if you can see here, I've actually rounded these off a little bit because they only just grip into these holes. These aren't very deep holes. And trying to get them off, I thought I was going to break this whole thing. I thought it was just going to flex and snap off. And what you do with these is, because these peg and holes are alternate, you plug them together, which again, almost impossible to separate them, like really hard to do. But now, because I've done this, they hold together perfectly well, and I can still separate them. So that's like one of the tweaks I've done. Your mileage may vary, and we'll look at this more when we go to attach it to the road mode. Excuse my voice. Right. What we're doing here. So, what we do is we're going to get this wing piece. I'm going to wiggle it loose. There's this big tab that goes into there. And to be fair, if you compare this to the other side, I love how smooth it goes in. It's actually quite cool. And it does raise a slight angle. So you wiggle that loose, and then this whole thing on that big silver pin rotates forward until this goes into there and locks into place. Swing this around, lock into place. Okay. Now we're going to get this panel here and gripping it from the side, lift it up. Because this just sort of tabs onto that big slot there, and just grips it. So we got that, which will allow us to separate this, rotate them out, and rotate on there, and the toe. These are the legs, if that hasn't become apparent. It's quite straightforward transformation. It's not rocket science. There you go. Nice little ankle rocker. Legs are very hollow, but they have to be for the transformation. Bit unfortunate, but okay. And we're also going to get this section here, and we're going to wiggle it so that the tab here comes out of a little notch there, and rotate them down. Wiggle it so that that comes out, rotate it down. Now we're going to come to another part I've customized. We're going to separate these. And what you've got is this tab See that there? It's supposed to go into that slot there. But that slot, I don't know if it's just bad molding, but basically it started to fill up like those two lips, and they were like too close, so that tab wouldn't go in. So literally using this box knife, and I might do a little bit more just to prove the point, because that top bit there looks a bit. I literally just scraped a little bit off. You know, I didn't go anywhere silly with it. I didn't go too much. I just took a little bit off. Come on. I just take a little bit off so that these will tab together. I think that works a little bit better. I think that was that last little lump that was in the way. Anyway, you separate this and you bring it down to the side, and there's the hinge in there, and there's actually a ball joint in there, so you get a bit of choices how high you want the shoulders to be. Come down. Now going to rotate the arms to the front, or the forearms, down, and swing this bit all the way around the back to there. So rotate, fold that all the way around to the back there. There you go. And we can drop this down. Well, I'll save it because I think this peg goes into that hole. But a dramatic head reveal, we're going to use the big slider and head reveal. And then we can bring this down and, yeah, it just about pegs in. And that's the raw mode. I can't really fault it. It's quite a nice looking raw mode. The head is a bit... Is that Megatron? I mean, it does turn. And I think it's on a ball joint. But is that Megatron? I mean... Is it? Arms are on the ball joint and that extra hinge, so if you want to get it higher, you can just do that. 360. Ball joint there, so you get the bend, you get the turn, all the rest of it. Absolutely fine dandy. This does get in the way a little bit, but then it moves, so fine. Ball joint hip skirt things stick out a mile. Kind of wish they could in, but legs are actually quite stiff. I could do with some WD-40 or something to loosen some of this a little bit, but it's fine. Ankle till, and if you really want, you got the toe. Nothing at the waist, transformation, the slider, it's fine. Can't complain. He's even got these little round bits in the shoulders, which I like to think are guns. He's got the missiles on the skirts, which you can actually use now. And speaking of weapons, we get to this, which I believe goes like that. And this is Megatron's fusion cannon. And it fires through there, little rectangle beam. And it's nice enough. But if you really want, you can over the top and have a slightly bigger fusion cannon. Pew, 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 pew. Pew. And this plugs into, well, I guess you can do either side if you want, but let's go traditional. And we'll plug it into there. Slightly fiddly because, again, this is not attached to, and it will go all the way through. So give me a second. There you go. See how it's sticking out this side? And it seems a little bit far off his arm because we've already got this panel and then the cannon, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. You know, you can still rotate it around and, you know, pew, 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 pew. It's not perfect, but it's alright. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. And, yeah, he's got a very good presence. I do like him. He's got the stupid symbol, that stupid thing with a tiny little Decepticon logo. Which kind of brings me to my thoughts on Earthspark. I was watching them somewhere. They've got new episodes on Netflix. I was watching some this morning at the time of this review. I still don't see him as an Autobot or friends with Autobot, and certainly not partner with a human, woman, person of colour, disabled. What's going on there? Megatron wouldn't do that. I don't. This isn't Megatron anymore. At least not the character in the series. It's not Megatron anymore. They've just gone, oh, we just want to push this story. Let's just put names and colours on people. Come on, guys. I'm not saying the series is bad or anything like that. It's just I don't see Megatron doing that. Okay? Anyway, size comparison. Drag strip. So this is the main sticking point we've got at this point. He's about the same kind of size. Maybe like tiny little bit shorter. But like, should Megatron... Yeah, he is. He's a tiny bit shorter. Look at that. Should Megatron be shorter than a random combiner limb? Like, really? And that's where we're getting, again, a little bit of a kick in the teeth. Because it's like, this is Megs. This should be like an event. It's like, I am Megatron. Here I am. Everyone's doomed. And they made him Diddy. Don't know how I feel about that. As a standalone figure and all the rest of it, it's perfectly fine. I don't think anyone's going to run out and buy 3 and customize them and all the rest of it. It's up to you. But I like him. Is he perfect? No. Of course he's not. But he's alright, and I quite like him. And I got him from Cardiff. Cardiff was awesome. Woo! So, that's my review. So, I'm going to scarper there because I've got 3 more to review. So, I should be ugly, I should be wretched, and I shall see all of you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.